Breaking news! There's one major storyline developing inside the Ravens locker room that could define the entire 2025 season. And it's not just about one player, one coach, or one game. It's about a handful of Ravens whose performances could swing the fate of the team from contenders to disappointments. Pressure is building, expectations are sky high, and the clock is ticking fast as Baltimore inches closer to training camp. These 5 names might not all be the biggest stars yet, but they could become legends or liabilities in a matter of weeks. Stick around, because you're going to want to hear this. But before we move on, make sure you hit that like button if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you feel like it, comment, "Go Ravens," so we know you're riding with us this season. Let's talk about the biggest X factors, the swing players, who could define whether the Ravens fly or fall in 2025. First up, rookie safety Malaki Starks. The 27th overall pick in this year's NFL draft didn't exactly walk into a cushy developmental role. No, Starks is being tossed into the fire. The unfortunate Achilles injury to Darius Washington changed everything. Had Washington stayed healthy, Starks would have been eased in, learning the ropes while contributing in spots. But now, he's going to be an every-down starter. This kid from Georgia is bringing elite pedigree, 43 games in 3 years, a reputation for clutch play, and 6 interceptions across his collegiate career. Starks is already being trusted with a major role in one of the NFL's most complex and aggressive defenses. His football IQ is off the charts, and the Ravens are banking on that to fast-track his development. But the big question is, how fast can he adapt? He's got the instincts, the athleticism, and the demeanor. But will that translate into production? Over or under 2.5 interceptions this season, that's the number fans are debating right now. Next up is Ronnie Stanley, and let's not sugarcoat it, this is about durability, plain and simple. Stanley has battled through a nightmare stretch of injuries, missing the majority of the 2020 and 2021 seasons with just 7 games played combined. But 2024 was different. He suited up for the entire season, stabilizing the offensive line and protecting the franchise, Lamar Jackson. In 575 pass-blocking snaps, he allowed just 2 sacks. That kind of performance is what elite left tackles are paid for. The issue? There's not much behind him if he goes down. Emory Jones and Carson Vincent are names with potential, but right now, they're question marks, not answers. The health of Ronnie Stanley might just be the single most important factor in keeping the Ravens' Super Bowl window wide open. On the defensive side, all eyes are on Nate Wiggins. A year ago, he was an emerging talent. In 2025, he's expected to be the guy at cornerback. CB1. Wiggins played 680 snaps last season, solid, but not elite-level reps. That's changing now. With Marlon Humphrey and Brandon Stevens expected to shift roles or potentially face injury risk, Wiggins will carry a massive load. But the young corner is preparing like a pro. He's added 12 pounds of muscle since last year, now at 185 pounds, thanks to a diet of steak and mashed potatoes. Seriously, he's bulking up for the rigors of a full season, and the coaching staff believes he's ready. But belief only goes so far. He'll be tested against the league's best wideouts from day one. The real question is, can he live up to that CB1 billing? Then we turn to a breakout rookie from last season, Roger Rosengarten. The Ravens' right tackle was nothing short of impressive, especially when matched up against the NFL's elite edge rushers. TJ Watt faced him twice, 0 sacks, 0 QB hits. Myles Garrett, 1 game, season low grade, no sacks. That's not rookie luck. That's high-level technique and poise under pressure. But Rosengarten needs to build on that foundation. The AFC North is a gauntlet of edge rushing talent, and he'll face elite competition every week. If he stagnates, it puts Lamar at risk and exposes the lack of depth at offensive tackle. It's not just about holding the line anymore, it's about dominating it. Finally, let's talk about the big man in the middle, Justin Matabike, or as fans know him, Mata Breakout. In 2023, he was unstoppable, 13 sacks from the interior. But 2024, a dip, just 6.5 sacks. And yes, the double teams were constant, but that's life for elite interior defenders. Watt and Garrett get doubled, and they still produce. Now, Matabike needs to prove that 2023 wasn't a fluke. The pressure is on, especially with limited depth behind him. Travis Nice-Peebles shows promise, and John Jenkins is a steady backup, but this line leans heavily on Matabike. If he can't regain that dominant form, the entire defense could feel the ripple effect. So here's the question, these 5 players, Malaki Starks, Ronnie Stanley, Nate Wiggins, Roger Rosengarten, and Justin Matabike, will they rise or fall in 2025? The Ravens' fate could hinge on their performances. But what happens if even one of them falters under the pressure? If even one of these five pillars cracks under the weight of expectation, the domino effect could be devastating for Baltimore. Let's take a deeper look at what's truly at stake and where things could tip either toward dominance or disaster. Starting with Malaki Starks again, the situation isn't just about whether he can play. It's about whether he can command the secondary in real time against elite NFL offenses. The Ravens don't ease rookies into leadership roles. They throw them in, especially when injuries strike. And let's not forget, in this defense, communication is everything. The safety isn't just a tackler or a ball hawk. He's often the quarterback of the secondary. Can Starks take control in pre-snap reads, align his DBs, make split-second decisions in coverage, and still fly to the ball? That's what separates good rookies from impact players. He doesn't need to be Ed Reed, but he does need to be reliable. There's no margin for learning curves in a division like this. The Bengals, Steelers, and Browns will exploit any hesitation. So can Starks handle that mental load from day one? The Ravens think so, but the spotlight doesn't blink. As for Ronnie Stanley, if he's upright and playing 17 games again, the Ravens' offense can thrive. That's a guarantee. But what happens if the wheels fall off again? What if he re-injures that ankle or picks up another nagging issue? Then it's Emory Jones, a developmental prospect, or Carson Vincent, still finding his footing, protecting Lamar's blind side. That's not a gamble you want to take. When you're a contender with legitimate Super Bowl dreams, you can't afford weak links on the line. And Stanley's availability is the keystone. His absence doesn't just hurt the line, it threatens the very structure of Todd Monken's offensive system. If Lamar doesn't trust the blind side, everything becomes rushed. Timing, progression, confidence, they all take a hit. That's the kind of chain reaction that derails a season. Now, let's revisit Nate Wiggins. There's no hiding in the secondary. When you're CB1, every snap is a test, every down is on camera. His physical transformation is impressive, sure, but weight gain is only part of the equation. How does he handle double moves? Can he mirror top-tier route runners for 4 quarters? Can he tackle an open space? Can he stay disciplined when teams attack him over and over again? He'll be tested early and often. If he holds up, the Ravens could have one of the most balanced defensive backfields in the league. If not, opposing QBs will find the mismatch and hammer it. This isn't college anymore. Wiggins needs to be elite, or the defense will suffer. And the same high bar exists for Roger Rosengarten. He was phenomenal in late-season matchups, yes, but those were just snapshots. Defensive coordinators now have a full offseason of tape to study him. They'll find weaknesses, tendencies, and try to exploit every technical flaw. Will Rosengarten adjust? Will he stay consistent through a 17-game grind plus the playoffs? And if the injuries start to pile up on the line, will he be the leader who holds it together? Remember, rookies hit the wall. Sophomores, they either break through it or regress. The Ravens cannot afford a step back, not at right tackle, not with Lamar under center. Finally, Justin Matabike has to become matchup-proof. There's no hiding from the double teams. If he wants to be elite, he needs to produce anyway. And it's not just about sacks. It's disruption, pressures, forced throws, collapsed pockets. When Matabike is dominant, the edge rushers eat. The linebackers fly. The safeties get picks. But when he's neutralized, everything tightens up. The linebackers get caught in traffic. The pass rush gets slower. The coverage has to last longer. One man's impact stretches far across this defense. That's why his 2023 production must return, not just for stats, but for the scheme to work. So, Ravens fans, these are your swing players. The ones who could turn this team into a 13-win juggernaut or a 9-win disappointment. They're talented, they're hungry, but they're also under the microscope. The AFC is brutal. Every week is a war, and there's no room for hesitation. Will Malaki Starks be the rookie savior the secondary needs? Will Ronnie Stanley defy the injury